Welcome to the spot. It's time to ignite. Oh yeah. Operation Hangout. The feeling's just right. Chilling with the crew. We're ready to groove. Opinions flying high. Come on, let's move. Hang out all night long, all night. Laughing and debating, playing our song. Oh yeah. Share your thoughts, don't be shy. Don't be shy. Operation Hangout, let's reach for the sky. Let's fly. Pull up a chair, let's get in the zone. Voices blending smooth like a funky trombone. Oh yeah. Topics from the heart, making us think. With a twist and a shout, raise up your drink. Cheers. Hang out all night long, all night. Laughing and debating, playing our song. Oh yeah. Share your thoughts, don't be shy. Don't be shy. Operation Hangout, let's reach for the sky. Let's fly. Bring it down, shake it up, feel the beat. With every word we share, the circle's complete. Living loud, think the proud, that's what we do. Oh yeah. Join the club, come on through, we're waiting for you. Alright. Hang out all night long, all night. Laughing and debating, playing our song. Oh yeah. Share your thoughts, don't be shy. Don't be shy. Operation Hangout, let's reach for the sky. Let's fly. Hang out.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another greatest episode of Spartan XU Network. I am your host. I gotta fix my banner. I am your host. Ghost. Blah, blah, blah. I am a host, the Spartan. I don't know why is my thing wrong. All right, let's fix that really fast. But how is everybody doing tonight? Guys, do me a favor. As you come in, please hit the like, share, and subscribe button. It will help me out so much. So, as always, I can't do this show by myself. Let's get my little helper in here. It sounds like you're having a fucking seizure over there.
No, you don't get it. One day I will have to do a custom-made soundtrack for me that will say, "I am Bear Paw," and we'll have an animation going on. We'll just correct this nonsense because there's no such thing as Groot. Even the people will agree. Groot don't reside in Africa. Like it that straight.
Well,
So either you give me Congo of the Mist,
Congo the Mix.
or you give me Bear Paw because that is an animal spirit in Africa. We're not trees. There you go.
So, I'm going to tell you right now, I have
The more-
met... Hang
more
on.
Okay.
Let me finish my sentence. I have met people from your country that are smaller and skinnier than you. So
Yeah.
not all you guys are big Groots like you think you are.
Yeah, smaller and skinny based on size, but I'm a big person.
Mhm.
I get that. And anyone who have met me in the gym, they will tell you, nah, he ain't no Groot. They will tell you right off the bat. That's not
But Groot can be a big guy too, you know. He can fluctuate size.
Nah, sorry. Calling to a Marvel Comics. I'm sorry. Roots is more
Have
like
you
B level.
seen the original comics? He
I've
flexes his
seen it.
size. He's
I know
small,
he
big.
flexing size. He flexing size, but still overall strength wise, he's not there. Yet he have a good characteristic because his genetic makeup is good to deal with certain material. But when it comes to strength wise, yeah, all you gotta do is torch him a couple of times. He's done.
Hmm.
So let's leave that alone. I'm a heavy comic book fan and anime fan. You know, naturally we torch people. So the group just don't fit. Pun intended.
So, theme songs tonight is the topic. WWE, who has the best theme song? What do you got to say?
Things so. If only you mentioned it because before I came on this platform, I was watching some reaction show based on hip hop, aka rap. Right? I have not been watching that for the past couple of months, which I have my reason behind it. There are a couple of reactors like Screwface John, No Life Shack, and many other math offer. So there was some content that was put out. They had a thing called the seven level of rap. I was like, I wonder what. Until let me see what the reactors say to that. And after seeing the collage, they had to agree. That was one part. Second one that happened recently yesterday that I had to watch today. Screwface John have a diss rap against Drake. But he found out his name was mentioned on a lawsuit on document 79. I was like, oh boy,
Oh, that
here
has
we
nothing to
go.
do with WWE, bro.
No, it don't have nothing to do with them, but the thing about it though, theme song, a lot of rappers help write or help influence some of the theme songs that we use in WWE. So when you come to with music, you had to give perfect example. Roman Reigns song is a sample song from another original beat from outside WWE. Trick song, whoop that trick. If everybody know where the soundtrack, the original soundtrack come from that movie where the original artist who wrote that song, it had been sampled. So anyone who understand hip hop, understand rap, understand music, and you love wrestling, you can tell certain songs have been sampled from certain artists or rap artists or beat maker. Where those theme song is very catchy and it will play out correctly. So for someone who into music for so long, I get it. So when we want to talk about theme song, entry song, some was good, some was not good. Some need to be replaced. Some need to be tweaked a little bit. Honorable mention will be from Breaker. His theme song from NXT is better than the theme song he have now, in my personal objective view.
Who was it again?
Braun Breaker, the theme song they had set up for him in NXT, in my objective opinion, and I'm being biased, objective opinion is better than the one you have now on Monday Night Raw. Because even though, yes, I get the time to play, but the feel according to his character. Because the one he had in NXT, it had what they call a fear factor. It made him look way more scarier, way more threatening when he was in NXT, when he was coming out in WWE Raw roster. You have to be real because here's the problem. Certain theme song, how you went about it, how you do it. If that theme song made you attractive from NXT, keep that thing song when you're coming into the main roster. Get who did that? Glorious. That was a theme song for what's his name again? Wrestler from TNA who went to WWE and NXT. Then he did a few stunts on the main roster before he ended up being the backdoor director. His theme song was off the hook.
Which one is
The,
this?
the guy had a theme song called Glorious. He was part of the new eight, not new eight outlaw beer company.
Here
When
come.
You know, Beer Company from TNA, that particular tag team group with James Storm and what's his partner name again? They had that thing to say, James Storm would say beer, the other guy would say money. He was an NXT champion. No, he was a TNA champion for a good while before he came to NXT, and he won the NXT champion. His theme song was named Glory. I forgot to Bobby Roode. There you go. Bobby Roode had a great theme song. That theme song was catchy. When he come out with the entry, I was like, bingo, that's fit him. That's how you put to it. And when he came to the main roster, they didn't switch it. They kept it because it was catchy. It fit the persona, and that's how it's supposed to be. The part what I noticed him for a while was if you want to get people who understand music very, very better and who love wrestling, they will call it out. Some theme songs need to be switched out. It didn't fit the character. It didn't fit the persona properly. I would say honorable mention Braun Breaker. I got nothing against the new song that he have, but it doesn't play his character well.
So I did a Google search as you were talking for theme songs. Here's the couple of top one. The number one is actually right now is "Breaking the Walls Down" from Chris Jericho.
That's iconic. You cannot beat that. You just
And
can't.
second one is Metallica. Who is sings the song? I can't remember the name. Whose theme song is this? Let me look it up actually. Because I don't remember the name of I just don't remember who has that theme song.
Thank you, Mariana. Thank you.
Hmm.
Undertaker has one of the best theme songs.
Oh yeah. Oh, Edge's theme song. That's what it is. That's Edge's, the 2004 version. When he came back after his injury, because originally he had
Mhm.
Rob Zombie. I thought Rob Zombie is one of the best, personally. But and fun fact, you know, the who sings the beginning of that song? That's his wife, actually.
Interesting.
Yeah. John Cena's in third. Its time is now because he had two versions. Remember, he had the original and then he
I
switched.
know. We're live. Then you had the
Yeah.
time it now. But the
CM
thing is,
Punk is on fourth. Again, that's a
wow.
argument. This Fire Burns, I believe that is. I want to say the Fiend. I'm not positive on that one. No, because it's the 06, not the Fiend. No Chase in Hell. Yeah, I can see that because that was everybody uses.
Vince McMahon, that personified Vince McMahon because what he had been for that company, even though the backdoor director, the backdoor cast, and the wrestlers of younger or they will say that song fit Vince McMahon down to the T. That's who he is. That was a character.
So after that, we have the Real American, like Mariana mentioned, from Hulk Hogan. Then it's Life is Sad. That is Randy Orton's 04 version.
Hmm.
Then he had Broken Dreams. Then Randy Orton's again, Burn in My Life. Then we have The Undertaker. Voices. That is, I'm surprised Voices not higher in the list because of
And
the way
that's because that's the thing. If you want to do the type of, I think we need to get all the wrestling head in here and put a real chart because when some people let's say the top 10, the list can be biased, but it's not objective.
I'm not disagreeing one bit because it's also who you liked. That's the other factor in it. So the next one is The Rock, Kurt Angle, Burning My Light. I don't know who is that one.
You know what's funny? Among this is top 10, right?
Top 20. This is
Top
actually.
20. So I want you to continue with the top 20. 'Cause I want to see if it's certain theme song is not on a list that I know it's BS. Continue.
You know, I'm going to share my screen, make it easier on myself.
Yeah, sure, because I want to hear and see.
Yeah. So where would I
Oh.
leave off?
Oh, it's not ranking. Okay, there's no ranking here.
Yeah. So I'm just reading across the board the way I think it is. Where did I leave? Burning My Life. The Game. The Game, I think will be a little higher than the list.
It's alright, but it's iconic.
And he has three versions of his theme song. Remember that he has
I
three
know.
different kind of versions. Head of the table. All right, I knew that was coming right there because everybody loves that
Oh
song.
no, I know.
No more words. I believe that was later on. I won't do what you tell me to do. I'm trying to think who that
Mm,
song is because
no, no, no.
if I hear it, I know who it is. That's the thing. No Chance in Hell is twice on here. That's the funny part.
Boyaka 619. It
Yeah,
catchy. It good. It's
I like the
iconic.
original. I like that 619 version versus the Bokia 169. Again, I might be a little biased on that. When in
Uh,
My Faith,
No,
Tokyo Shock,
no.
Graveyard Sympia. I believe that's the Undertaker, if I'm not mistaken.
Maybe so.
Yeah. I'm Walking Alone, Batista. I can tell you right now. This one I'm not sure who. Oh, that's Tina.
Basic Economic. That's John Cena.
Yeah, I saw the name on the bottom because he made his own song. Real American again. This is repeating. Some of them are
Uh,
repeating stuff I saw. Let's see. You
Mind
think you
Time.
know
Triple
me?
H.
Kingdom. Who's the Kingdom? I'm trying to think who
I
that
don't
is.
know.
My Time. That's
That's
Triple H. That's the repeat of the game, pretty much. That was the newer version of it.
Shawn
So
Michaels.
Michaels, I
There's a
knew that
lot.
was coming. Cher,
Shut up.
Cher, I'm
No.
not sure who that is.
No W time it now. See that already.
Yeah,
Let me
we know.
see.
So there's some of these repeated.
Soaking on the love.
Yeah.
No.
Uh,
At
so
times, you know what?
here's
As
the
I'm
thing.
looking at it, and I find it interesting. Some theme song was not mentioned. I'll give you a perfect example. There's one theme song that ended up being converted into two different versions, and that theme song was the more catchiest theme song in this modern era. And guess who you think I'm referring to? This theme song is so catchy. The latest version, you cannot play that theme song in any WWE arena and not want to have it be requested two or three more times again. Guess who I'm referring to? The more catchiest theme song that the whole entire audience arena want that song we done again. We play it again over and over. They can't get enough of it. Who think I'm referring to?
Tell me.
Come on, I'm giving you a hint. It's a perfect hint because of all the other wrestlers that come in, either be SmackDown or Monday Night Raw
So give me the clues again. What are the clues?
on NXT, whenever that particular theme song get played and they finish, they want to get replayed again and again. No matter where he go, either within the US, either in the overseas, they want that song be played again. It's like contagious.
Is it Joe? Joe something. What's his name? Is called. Man, I can't remember his name now.
Because
He was registered.
the original version, it was catchy as hell, but it gets converted to make it even better. That's crazy.
Joe Hendricks.
Not Joe Hendry.
Okay, tell me
Joe,
then.
Joe Hendry wasn't being played too heavy. I mentioned Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, even though they come on NXT, they want to play it again. Come on. What theme
I'm
song do you know if you watch wrestling and the whole entire audience is fully engaged, even the commentator?
the only one I can think of right now is freaking shit. What's his name? Randy Orton right now. But I know that's not it. I know that's the wrong answer. So tell me. Go ahead,
You give
David.
up? Jay Uso theme
Yeah,
song.
go ahead.
I say Jay Uso theme song. They
Oh,
want to
shit.
that was the original one because I saw a clip of Jay Uso say how him and his brother came with a new theme for themselves. They were doing when they did the paint, the face paint, everything, and they want to
And
change it for Tana.
the whole clapping thing, and they were saying some Samoan some Samoan stuff in the
Yeah,
first.
that was for the first, and they decided to make a change. They said they went to the shopping mall, got some hoodie. They wanted to say day one shit. Then Jay was like, no, 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 we can't do that because bitch not gonna like it. So they went from day one it. What's the guy name from Hot 97. He said he's the ultimate DJ. He noticed that that change was iconic. He also accommodated for WWE. He mentioned that as a DJ, I knew I was surprised and y'all was slick to get away with it. They would say day one ish, also penitentiary. Their theme song was so catchy. And they were a tag team. No matter where they go, it got to build momentum over time. Then it got gully when they had the belt and the Judgment Day came in and did a promo against Dominic and the Judgment Day, and they did them. Everybody know that was the best promo, hands down.
Was it down with that?
The day one is theme song when the Uso had it. Then when they got separated, what's funny about it, they made Jay Uso keep it and modify it, while they give his brother the different one.
Yeah, now he has main event ish. That's what it's
Yeah,
called. His
anyway,
theme song.
yeah, and the thing is, it's so catchy. Even Vince, not even Triple H noticed this. When they go on tour outside the country, the audience do not want to let. And here's the problem: when you see Jay Uso do this, Triple H said you might well have to do it again because they're not gonna let go. You know how many times he will come in with that thing, and the audience kids, come on, who had a reaction like that before Jay Uso? Now, Randy Orton theme song, I'm not gonna lie to you. When he on tour and they go to other country, and I hear his song being sing by the audience, I get goosebump.
Hmm.
That thing make my skin go goop. That way you know that certain theme song you're not getting rid of. Bobby Roode theme song was the same way too. Goosebump effect.
I felt like that with a couple. Like Stone Cold was one of those guys. I felt like that when the glass
Ooh.
break. Psh, you looking at holy shit, he's back. Like it was
Now,
like the ick factor. Like they always say, those guys had it. Undertaker. I remember when he first came back after he was compared dead, and he came back.
American
And
Badass, that one don't go nowhere. That is stuck with him.
what the Dead Man Walking? Absolutely, Dead Man Walking
Now,
is always a even American Badass is probably stuck with him too. I just watched an interview recently, like on 6 Feet Under, of him talking, and somebody asked him like, "Would you ever put the hat and put the hat of the Dead Man back on?" Or the whole it was. I'm not power quoting. He said no. Simple reason: it's no money enough to destroy my legacy. When
bingo.
I had the match with oh my god, what's his name?
Oh, wait,
No, it wasn't Reigns. It was somebody else. He was a TNA
Brock,
wrestler.
TNA wrestler.
Yeah, then he came over. Wow, I can't remember his name right now. He's feuding with oh shit, what's his name? He has the belt one now. Wow, I'm having a brain fart, guys. Help me out here.
You talk about Trick Williams?
No.
No.
No, it wasn't TNA. It was yeah, TNA. He was the wrestler back then.
The only few D wrestler back then TNA will be AJ Styles. Will be
That's what it is,
Bobby
AJ
Roode.
Styles. That's what it was. He had the last final match of AJ Styles during COVID, if you remember, but it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't a traditional match. It was like a
It was
graveyard
like,
match.
but the graveyard match was very photographic, and it was I was off the hook. I'm not gonna
And
lie.
he even what Undertaker said. That's like he has no complaints. One of the best matches he had for to recent date as him, the farewell. But that's why he didn't bury also the badass gimmick, because he still can come back once in a while and do it. But he doesn't have enough gas in the tank to
And
strap the
and,
boots
and,
on.
and not only that, his body wear and tear. Because when I saw a clip about John Cena medical condition, I was like, oh shit. And here's the
These
thing.
guys beat the shit out of him. So let's be honest here. It might be fake, like people say. It's fake to a certain point. It's fake, like they know who's the outcome.
And
But
not only that, but the body wear and tear people do not comprehend is that even though you leave wrestling, you know how much surgery it takes to repair the damage?
Hogan, great example.
You know, John Cena is walking the same exact way Kurt Angle was walking. I pay close attention to details because recently I have some weird pain behind my right shoulder for the past few days where there's a nerve, a pinched nerve.
Hmm.
That for some people, if I do my arm a wrong way or if I laugh the wrong way, it's still a shocking pain from here all the way down to my elbow. I have to do all kind of stretch to pull that muscle. I'm like, the only time I know that it works for me to pull it, if I'm pulling it much heavier kind of weight that to exert the force to make it pop out. So I get the kind of pain that John Cena go through because he had to hunt back. They said when he gonna do a match, he had to take a couple of injections of steroid so he can. You serious? And while he playing, he find doing his last few matches left. When he's in Hollywood Hollywood red carpet walk, you know that he hunts back. No, he hunts forward. So imagine if you had to go to and do surgery and have your whole spine be reinforced properly with steroid and, and correct that mess so you can walk normal again and remove a lot of pain.
That's the thing. Even forget the theme song. Let's take a little break from the theme songs for 1 second here. Let's be human beings for a minute. These guys literally put their lives and bodies on the line to entertain us. People say, "Oh, it's fake." Yes, it's somewhat fake. I'm not denying that. And like
Hmm.
the chair shots, that's why they cover their heads up. When I met the second time I met mankind,
Hmm.
well, Paul was with me. He said maybe I could have put Black Copper headshot. Maybe I shouldn't jump off the cage. He said he's from all the wrestlers from the 60s all the way to now. He's the
Hmm.
one who took the most damage to his body.
I believe.
And he's
I
having
co-
so much medical conditions. Not even funny.
and
He is bad. So, like, I hate to bring this up because of the tragic events that happened that night. But Benoit,
we talked about
I
it enough,
hate.
but let's leave that one alone. We talked enough about that one.
Let me say one thing, and then I'll rest it there.
Hmm.
I'm not talking about the career. I'm not talking about what he did. His brain, all those shots. I was watching recently his finishing move, the headbutt. People don't understand that between the chair shot and the headbutt, his head was fucked up. CT thing is a real fucking thing. Let's be honest here. Let's move on from that. I don't want to talk anymore about it right
I
now.
know. That way I'll tell you I'll leave that alone because that's a very. But the thing is, like you want to talk about theme song, John Cena's theme song are the only theme song I could say not only with the iconic, with the original. There was no sampling. That
But
is one of
here's
the.
what I'm going to push back right now a little bit, David. Right? So during the Attitude Era, it was some songs like Kurt Angle's. You had the audience engaging.
Hmm.
You suck, and so on. Right
Yeah, it's a catchy
now,
song,
now the audience are more engaged than ever.
and they're the reason behind it. Like I said,
No, I'm not
so,
denying that. I'm not denying it. So you have Joe Hendricks, they sing that. Chris Jericho's
oh,
new song. I can't remember the name of his song right now. He sings it himself. Then you have shit. What is
CM
it called?
Punk.
I'm
CM
sorry.
Punk is heavily CM Punk theme song has been heavily sing no matter
Is
where
it?
he
I never
goes.
realized it's CM Punk.
CM Punk theme song, Code of Personality is done by a black rock band.
Yeah,
And
I
that
know
song,
that part. I'm not arguing that. But what I was going to say, Randy Orton's one is a big one too.
ooh, that one heavy on the European tour. In Europe,
Yeah, those are four songs I can think off my head
no,
that.
I can think a lot more, but when it comes to Randy Orton theme song, Randy Orton said it himself when he went on tour over Europe and he had his theme song being sung by the audience. I even said it myself earlier. It gave me goosebumps. If anybody were to watch it and listen very carefully, and you're very in tune to music, they sang that song word for word, so much to the point whereby Randy Orton was like this. He was like, He
So
almost broke.
I'm sorry to cut you off a second, David. Before I forget, Chris Jericho's theme song from AEW is Judith.
Judith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't want to
Within it.
forget before you move on. But go ahead.
Good. I'm
Yeah,
glad you mentioned that. I'll get right back after this one. I'll talk right after Judith. Randy Orton said it. He almost broke character because of that.
oh yeah, I believe it.
Because he had a song play many times throughout his career, right? But it felt completely different when he went to the European tour and hear the audience sing it word for word so high and so loud. Even Triple H at the back was like, you know what? We need to do way more tour than Europe because this don't make no goddamn sense. But now without comparing
They're
the
starting
audience,
to now. They're opening again the European market. It kind of died off at one point, not because they didn't make money. They didn't know how to promote it correctly. So Ireland was the first experiment to it. I know they're gonna have. Actually, Ireland was the first PPL. Actually, I think about it. So they're gonna have more overseas stuff coming up soon. But I gotta push back on my buddy Eric here. So Eric thinks Roddy Piper's song was one of the best ones out there. He doesn't love Roddy Piper. Like let's be honest, Eric, you are in love with him. It's nothing wrong with
no,
that. You have a man
don't,
crush.
don't get me wrong. I like Red Papa theme song, but it's not the epitome. Here's the thing: you want to put every theme song from the '80s, from the '90s, the 2000, the 2000, and now. That will be hard because you can't use based on one person's opinion. That's why you need to get all the wrestling head in this conversation who will call it out. Because some, like I say, Ready Control theme song, almost basic guy broke several times. Everywhere he go in Europe and he hear his theme song sing to that such level of passion. He said it himself like he had a hard time trying to keep in character. I know what breaking the dude. He's an OG now in WWE. And he hear his theme song was second to that one with Judas. Chris Jericho theme song. He never played Judas in WWE. You know that, right?
I know. Judas was his own creation song. He
Mm-hmm.
started with his band, and
And
it was part of his contract. He wanted his own song to be written. Sing with his own voice. That was part of his deal going to AEW.
and
You
guess
know what?
what?
I'm curious right now,
Go ahead.
and I want your opinion on it. So I don't know if you heard the rumors. Chris Jericho might be going back to WWE.
Wrestle Talk doing that thing, but they want Chris Jericho and well, Roberto Rodrigo, wherever it was limit, back to WWE as well. Now, chances are it may not happen because Chris Jericho signed a unique contract with AEW. But
He didn't
here's the
sign nothing.
thing,
His contract is up to for a reorganization very soon.
very soon, and I get that. But here the drift though. Chris Jericho have a major influence in AEW, far more than he did in WWE. That is one. Two, anybody who was watching AEW for a while, when he played a theme song, do the regular wrestling's TVT and do the pay per view let you know how big his theme song is. Do you hear the whole entire? Let me refresh everybody's memory. If you see the one that did the pay per view in England at the old arena, when they played Chris Jericho theme song, Chris Jericho, even himself, having a hard time to keep in character. They sang his song so hard and so heavy. You see the guy's face, he was like, and they didn't want to play my song in WWE. And look how my song is sounding in these people's lips.
So here's what I'm going to push back with Chris Jericho thing. Is I
Mm,
think Jericho has said it. He'd like to finish his career where he was mostly made his name in WWE because
okay,
he's about to retire. He have said that multiple times.
and I get it.
So
He can't retire in WCW because that's where he first started. He made his
WCW.
name
Oh yeah,
in
he's out of his name.
see, I know, but he made a bigger name in WWE. Was it correct?
So when he came to WCW, they didn't. WCW was such a fucking hot mess. They didn't know what the fuck they were doing. They were blowing crack up their asses and snorting shit in their noses. That's how bad it was.
You know who to
Bro,
blame?
Chris Jericho said it. He received a FedEx letter from them. He opened it. It was an empty envelope. Like, what the fuck is going on here? And I'm not saying that
Know who to
was
blame?
part of the reason he left, but he knew he wasn't used correctly.
Know who to blame?
So, freaking not Eric Bischoff, what's his name? Vince Russo.
No, it's both of them. Eric Big Show.
think it's combination?
It's a combination on both.
I will give him only 50%, and the other 50 I'm going to give blame to is they gave too much controllability to the wrestlers. Like if you saw Hogan says, "I'm keeping the belt. I'm not giving it up." Listen, I don't like talk shit about dead people.
I know you don't want to talk shit about dead people, but
let me finish my sentence.
Okay,
1 second, and it's yours. I don't like talking shit about dead people, but Hogan was a selfish person when it came to business. And I get that. Business. But if you didn't realize, if he lost the belt, he could have made more money getting it back when they get people get more from a baby face to a bad guy. He could have made more money losing the belt a couple times. That's my personal opinion. I'm sorry, David. Go ahead.
But I'm glad you say your point. Let me tell you my point. Yeah, you don't want to talk negative about dead people. I don't want to talk negative about dead people either. But there are too much juice are being spilled about this man there and why he continued to be the most hated behind the scene in the locker. Shout out to the Steiner brothers.
Who was he hated? Hogan?
Yes.
That's a mixed reviews. Go finish your sentence. I'm gonna push back.
When I'm saying that, Scott Steiner talked about how Hogan liked to sabotage people just for the sake of he get the better look, or he like to tear people down. And now more and more wrestlers from his class, past class, before or after him, are not feeling the beat about how he do business. The promo that Vince McMahon did with Hulk Hogan in WWE was no regular promo. He was actually trying to throw Hogan on the bus, but what he did, sabotage him. But Hulk Hogan has sabotaged a lot of people far more than Vince did. And the reason why when the last time he showed his face in WWE, he got booed out of the stadium. Real bad. Hulk Hogan thought that he still gonna be beloved until they start finding out more information about what he did and what he been doing. So what he didn't realize, all the good work that he did for over the years, and people start to find out what you were doing behind the scene in the locker room, it kind of like not only overshadowed, it started to overtake.
So here's my pushback.
Before you get the pushback, let me finish up. You cannot tell no wrestler who know Hulk Hogan personally, who have worked with him, and say they're wrong, and they have to put out the information and connect the dot, because Scott Steiner, many other wrestlers are talking about it right now. They're interviewing a lot of people who work with Hulk Hogan and figure out why was he hated in the locker room. What did he do that made him to be completely hated? Because let's be real, that booing that happened recently before he passed, it's at a huge question mark. What the hell is going on? What is happening? They make sure you're not gonna, maybe you didn't catch on to it. When they were honoring the pattern of Hulk Hogan in WWE, where was Roman Reigns in the picture? Nowhere. It was said they make sure you don't damage Roman Reigns' image and align it. I was like, ooh. So there was more than what we do know. It was much, much more.
So here's a couple things. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying that. But a lot of wrestlers have to come out, like $1 Million Man, for example. Hogan put him over, and when Hogan came back to the company after the Rocky movie, I can't remember exactly how the story went. I'm trying to remember how it went. I believe $1 Million Man went up to him and goes, "Payback," meaning not like a bad thing in a good way, like I'm returning the favor. A lot of wrestlers have said when it came down to the belt, he was very selfish. I'm not pushing back on that one bit.
Mhm.
But when he came into the locker room, he went around the table, shook everybody's hand, he gave everybody a
Mhm.
hug, he bullshitted. It's like he
Mhm.
never gave pointers. That was that type of character he was.
I know.
Like Undertaker was more the guy who gave the pointers out. He was like that's why they called him the the judge in the locker room in a way.
And hit it to the two late wrestler who had beef with him also, aka Macho Man Randy Savage. Oh, he had some severe beef with Hulk Hogan. And the Ultimate Warrior have the same thing too. And people were putting that in perspective. Yo, he was doing people
So
dirty,
here's
dirty,
my
dirty.
only thing with the Ultimate Warrior. You have to understand it. Ultimate Warrior have said this before he passed. The problem with Ultimate Warrior at the time, he was so fucked up on drugs
Yeah,
and
I get it.
steroids.
I get
You can't count that. You got to push that out of the way.
I get the Ultimate
And
Warrior issue. But what about
the
Ultimate
Ultimate
Randy Savage?
Warrior, it was a Ultimate Warrior. I mean, Remy Sanchez. That guy was a control fucking freak. If you watch it behind the scene, what was that show called from Vince? The Dark Side of the Ring.
Hmm.
They say it out loud. His brother said it. He was a control freak. His wife could not look at another man. He looked at her like, look on the ground. You look down. Don't look up.
And I get it. But ain't that
So
a mirror image of Hulk
wait.
Hogan?
Let me finish my sentence. And the floor is yours.
Okay.
Then she left him for a few days just to chill, cool, get her thing because she went with his wife, ex-wife now. He thought she and him had a thing. It was whoa, dude. Everybody has said that was a big misunderstanding. There's one thing Hogan regretted today. He's like he wanted to patch that problem out, and that never happened. Hogan has said it multiple times on an interview. He wanted to clear that air with him. It doesn't matter who be friends. He just want to clear the air.
I,
Go ahead,
I
I'm sorry.
understand. I understand by being a control freak with Macho Man Savage with his wife everything. But we ought to know that era was a very sick era. There was a lot of controversy with concerning with women behind the scenes in the locker room, and I'm guessing that was Macho Man Randy Savage a way of protecting her because the crap that was going behind the scenes during the Vince Men documentary that being voiced out of what they got away with. You got to ask yourself this question. You think you want to blame Macho Man Randy for doing what he was doing, knowing the fact they were going on, and Vince did nothing to stop it, but allowed it to continue? So if you want to do way more, don't want to be a wrestling show. We didn't start diving deep, start pulling out receipts left and right, start connecting the dots, like a detective investigator. You start connecting everything. You start to realize the big picture, like, oh, it was really been going on. So I get it. But to go back into the part of theme song, not every theme song is that. Mm, because we notice, you and I both noticed, how many music directors have been replaced in WWE when it comes to making theme songs?
Oh, she's too many.
Okay, then. So to be on time with the present theme and the reality of things, why you think all of a sudden you have hip hop artists as of lately becoming attached to WWE? No offense. I was glad I was watching the thing by the 7-Eleven rapper and they call Travis Scott. A good at it, but a mid rapper. Travis Scott is not all a rapper to begin. He whacked to me. But lately, a lot of hip hop artists are now becoming associated. I tell you something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because music and wrestling go hand in hand. Either you like it or you don't. The more catchy a theme song, I wish it was in WWE, the Swerve Strickland theme song.
Whose song?
Swerve House. Swerve Strickland.
So here's what the rap artist is the thing. Okay, so I'm gonna start with Snoop Dogg first. Snoop Dogg, the reason he showed up and he has a great relationship with WWE, even after his cousin left, is because of his cousin.
Hmm.
People said it was, oh, Vince got no, bro, no. It was a Vince, and he just kept a good relationship with them.
Bingo.
So that's one. Now with Bad Bunny, it was because they were going to Puerto Rico. That's simple. It was a promotion thing, and Bad
Bingo.
Bunny is the number one Puerto Rican guy in Puerto Rican rapper. Is that fair to say?
Huh.
I'm not
No,
sure.
Puerto Rican.
I don't know.
No, he's the number one Puerto Rican artist, not
Okay,
rapper.
I apologize. Then I'm not a Bad Bunny fan, so I wouldn't know.
Uh,
So
but I'm here to correct things.
You know what, David?
You've reached your limit on talking. Shut the fuck up.
Forearm, blade, and middle finger.
I swear to God, one of these I'm going to chop that goddamn fucking finger off. But
Don't worry.
seriously, all joking aside, I think, and I mean this,
Hmm.
if it wasn't for Puerto Rico, Bad Bunny would never be on there. And some other artists, like I can't remember what artist was. It was a rapper. He's literally smoking a joint as he's going to the
But
stage.
let me stop you on that. Bad Bunny and then a very few artists are known not only in Puerto Rico but also in South America. Because when it comes to the South American Latino music genre, you cannot say Bad Bunny is not up there. Because I'll be real with you guys. I'm in New York City, Brooklyn, New York. We have Bushwick, that Latino community over there. If I go over there and say Bad Bunny sucks, I might get myself in trouble because Bad Bunny is considered one of their icons there. So there are certain artists in the Latin community that hold dear, with no
I'm not,
different from
not disagreeing with that. I
no different
100%
from
agree
the
with
black community, which is we have section to it. There's certain artists we hold dear and certain artists we want to kick out. So Puerto Rico is where the island where they were trying to do their promotion, and Bad Bunny is no heavy. So
I'll
they
use, okay, I'll use another
they
example
match
for you.
they matching with Damian Priest, and even Damian Priest said that one was more of a big deal to the country. And Vince, no, Triple H noted that's the best way to play it. But what other artists besides Bad Bunny do you think they would have a great connection with, even the fact even to do a wrestling match with?
Say that again.
What other artists besides Bad Bunny do you think would have a greater connection with the WWE audience? But
Oh,
also
nobody.
even
But before you said before that, hang on. I want to give you my thoughts for 1 second, and we go
mhm,
get back right.
okay,
So Bad Bunny might be one of the greatest Latino artists. Not saying that, but same thing with Mark Anthony. Yeah, Mark Anthony is another good one too. So
yes,
I personally don't like Bad Bunny. I just don't like his music. It's not my cup of tea. And I told to a lot of Puerto
and I
Rican
and I
people,
and I give you that, and I give you that. Mark Anthony, how many times you see Mark Anthony pop up in WWE?
never.
Okay, then see, that's my point. It's all about business. Why? Mark Anthony, yes, is one of the greatest Latino artists, but how much have he made that impact or influence or popping up? Because as of lately now, we're seeing far more celebrities popping up. But they're not a constant reminder that happened before during the 80s and 90s. We used to have a lot of celebrities that pop up, like Cindy Lauper and many other. Can we recall that era when a lot of well-known actors and actresses, musicians were popping up to WWE before the WWF? Can we remember that particular era? It's like a loop come to a stock market. Now and look come back right up. Now you're having actors are coming up. You got football players showing up. You got basketball player coming up. You got musician artists. You cannot deny it, can you?
Flow Rider was another one. Motorhead was
Bingo,
another one. Ice-T was another one. Snoop
bingo,
Dogg, Kid Rock.
bingo,
Kid Rock because he did.
bingo.
He has a great relationship with Undertaker, I believe. I'm not 100% sure. Me Green Oakland song. That's I read that wrong. My bad. Uh, the guy who rings America's beautiful. Anthony Frank Ring, Ray Charlie,
Hmm.
Flit Hammerin, Aloe
Hmm.
Blake. Those are only a
Hmm.
few the top list. I'm actually gonna go to Wikipedia.
Wale, you heard it. Wale, another rap artist. He was there for the beef between the Uso versus the New Day, and he was doing the referee. You notice, like I said, a lot more influential people in certain genre in entertainment start to show up more in WWE. Now, let's not forget the deal that WWE made with Netflix, which opened door for other people from Netflix production, either a movie or a comedy, whatever, are popping up more often. And now, I'm sure you have not found out, or maybe you have known that, they struck a deal with ESPN, whereby they're leaving Peacock and without broadcasting their content on ESPN going forward.
I think we're already in a transition. I think Okay, I said this earlier in the year
Hmm.
when WWE went to Netflix. I think
Hmm.
they're gonna pull. They're gonna start pulling slowly all the shows to
Streaming
Peacock. We're
service.
already seeing the transition. Now, if you have a European account
Hmm.
or you watch it from a European or you know how like IP, I'm not saying you should do that, but I'm
Hmm.
saying if you do that, you can
Hmm.
actually watch SmackDown on Netflix right in Europe.
And the fact that you mentioned that you can watch SmackDown on Netflix in Europe, would it be safe to say, and you have to be logical about it, before the year ends, SmackDown will be able to be viewed on Netflix no matter what region you're in. If you
Yeah,
already started,
that's my point. Trying to get to. I think
okay.
we are getting to the point of transition there.
And while we're doing that transition conversation, you're not leaving the theme song because when you're doing that transition, theme songs matter. You gotta think about it right now. Theme songs matter because, for one, if you remember what I mentioned, I was watching they call it the I believe it on YouTube. There's a thing called the Reactor Guild. Look at the word they use, guild, Guild. Ain't that a word you take from anime and you put it in? And the fact that these people are running with it and they're letting all the big reactors. There was a thing they did about 2 weeks ago called video call, 7 level of rappers. These rappers, some of these rappers are popping up on WWE and AEW. The level of collaboration, the
Mhm.
level of business being made, the level of music production, music distribution being made. Remember what I say for a strictly theme song? If if only if you were to come back to W and they play that theme song, how big would that because when he doing on AEW and everybody doing this, no matter where he go, it's catchy. Let get pop with pop do. His theme song is catchy as hell. And the fact that I'm sure Triple H is paying attention to that. He look like, yo,
That's
he up
what
there.
Joe Henry said when he was creating his theme song back in NXT. Remember, he first came into the scene on NXT. People forget that. Then
Uh-huh.
he bounced back and forth with different companies. He went, I think, went NXT to I don't know if he went to AEW. Did he go to AEW for a little bit?
No,
I
he
don't
didn't
think
show up.
so.
No, he didn't show up in AEW. That's one company he hasn't show up yet.
Okay,
He
so he
go to,
went from TNA to um, TNA right now. I'm sorry, NXT to TNA. I said it backwards. My bad.
but he went to other. Went to other indie promotion, but he did not do AEW. He did not do Ring of Honor. I'm checking my memory right now. He did not do that, but he went to other indies. He may not went to the one in the Washington State. If I've got what that one, what that my promotion called. Defy? Maybe yes. He went to Defy. New Japan Pro Wrestling. I'm not sure he showed up in New Japan Pro. I'm not too sure.
I think he did. I know he bounced around, but whatever. My point is trying to get to
Hmm.
on an interview. He said I think it was Chris Ventag, whatever his name is, the one of the biggest interview at WWE. He's talking to the guy. He goes, "How did you come up with the idea?" He goes, "I want something catchy. I want something you can remember. You're walking down the street and all of a sudden it pops in your head." And that's how I believe Joe Hendry came in.
And Joe Hendry,
Just
no,
the beginning.
he went to the British Indies. The British Indies, they know who Joe Hendry really is. And there was some wrestler who was in TNA, with an NXT, who have real personal relationship with Joe Hendry, and they were crapping on him with his theme song because they know that thing was annoying, but it was catchy.
Oh yeah.
It was catchy to the point where now they do that collaboration with TNA and NXT, and hear the clause. Don't say his name. Don't even mention that phrase. Let's say you say his name and he repeat. You either mention his name or mention that phrase. He pop up, and they did that on purpose on both sides to the point it got annoying. On NXT, it become way more comical, whereby if you don't say his name and say it, and you see all the rest of it, it was like, yo, what the hell? But the thing is, I gotta give shout out to Shawn Michaels who caught on to the marketing and you know what? Let expand it more. Let's make it more annoying but catchy as hell. To the point
The
where
thing with
they
some wrestlers, what they're smart about when they make their theme song. John Cena is one of them. They own the rights to it. Shawn Hendricks is another one. He owns the rights. So wherever he goes, he goes. That one thing I'm actually curious. I don't know what's going to happen if Chris Jericho comes to back to WWE. Is he going to keep the same theme song?
no, here's the thing. Triple H is not Vince McMahon.
Say that again.
Triple H is not Vince McMahon.
Oh, no, I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm not
And
disagreeing with that. I know that. I
and the
believe
and the reason why I'm saying he's not, he understands the wrestling map better than Vince McMahon because if Judas is that catchy and that heavy outside in WWE, why not bring that same heat over here? Because here it is though. Let me give you a perfect example. AJ Styles. AJ Styles had two theme songs. You know that, right?
he had three. I thought at one point.
No, I mentioned two because the one he had in WWE, they don't want that one is heavy and catchy in WWE. But when he go and visit the last time went to TNA, they played the one that he had last, and that blew off the roof because he even mentioned he didn't want to mess with that song, but he know that song is tied with him in TNA. That's where he built his career far more than any other place. He built a career from TNA before he went to New Japan Pro Wrestling. Let's get that one facts. And that theme song he had in TNA is stuck. That's nostalgia. So you
Mhm.
cannot say, and he did say that in that Chris Van Vliet interview, he didn't want to play, but he knew it only for a reason they had to play it because of that. But he had another theme song, which you say you corrected three, but the one he had in New Japan Pro Wrestling is not the same one you have in TNA. It was not the same in the one in WWE. You're not straight. The one in WWE is better than the one he had in TNA, hands down. Now, Trick Williams. Anybody watch the movie understand theme song? Trick Williams theme song is almost you would consider a parody from the original theme song in the particular movie that this actor, what is his name again? He was the original actor for War Machine before they replaced it with Don Cheadle. What's his name again? I hate hating people names like that.
Hold that thought 1 second until you come back to it. I gotta address one of these comments because our buddy Eric is on a roll here. So
Uh-oh.
first of all, let's go with the first one. That is a point of view because his, in the Latino community, that is a good. They love their music. So if you ever been to a Latino party, is a
No,
great party.
Eric, I'll give you this one advice. Don't go to a Latino nightclub and they're playing Bad Bunny and you say he sucks. You on
You're not
your
gonna
own.
survive. You better have your will written out, buddy.
You on your own, my brother. I do not know you no habla English.
So second comment. Jericho needs to retire. He's retiring soon. Like I know he. And here's the thing: he doesn't like Chris Jericho. I'm trying to figure out this fascination. All the good modern wrestlers, Eric hates. I know you love the big Attitude era. I mean the territory era, and I'm not disagreeing with you one bit. It was more competition back then, but Alfonso, you got to give Chris Jericho credit when it's due.
I get what Eric coming from with Chris Jericho because they're reading to a point whereby people going to hate Chris Jericho because one, he was a disruptor during the Attitude Era. That was one. Two, he was like, I don't know, you're not gonna like it. He the old school version of the Miz. That was Chris Jericho. Know how Miz is right now? Annoying, obnoxious. He's not up there. They look at Chris Jericho that way because at the time that there's a huge, massive rivalry between The Rock and Stone Cold. He exploit that rivalry so he can have his way and become the first undisputed. Mind you, everybody was wondering who would be the real undisputed between The Rock and Stone Cold. Remember? They did that
Mhm.
little tournament thing, and Chris Jericho spoiled it. The same way Chris Jericho spoiled it, the way Miz was doing that thing now, Miz could not follow through with that thing. Guess who's doing it better than him? Seth freaking Waller. Seth freaking Waller is doing what Miz supposed to be doing, but Miz don't know how to follow through properly. So they passed that responsibility to Seth freaking Waller because Seth freaking Waller is doing it better. Seth MacFarlane is a better disruptor than the Miz and Chris Jericho.
Oh yeah, Chris. Seth Rollins learned from one of the best, Triple H.
hmm But what
Behind
he was
the
doing,
scenes, he was taking him under his wing because he was the one who wanted to listen the most. Now you have
uh
Roman
oh,
Reigns. What?
I struck a nerve with Eric. Look what he just said.
So let me guess right. You hate Chris Jericho, but you like this guy, The Miz. Okay, Eric, I don't think we can be friends anymore because do you ever understand? The only reason Miz got his job because of MTV. That's the only reason.
I know, but remember what I just said just a while ago. Chris Jericho, the OG version of the Miz. They're the
Oh, I
correlation.
missed that part. I'm sorry because I was thinking of my next thought. I apologize. I didn't miss that. I thought okay. Now I see. He doesn't like the Miz. Okay, never mind. We're cool now, Eric. My bad. I misunderstood. I misread that. My
See,
bad. My bad.
and that's why you need me here to correct the mess.
Anyway, most people don't. That's one thing I would say. Most people don't realize the Miz got his job because of MTV. That's the only reason he won the Tough Enough back then.
Not only that, I hate to say he's the most successful one that came from MTV. The most successful. He last
Yeah, but
he
he's also
outlasted.
most pussier one too. Because what was the name? Daniel Bryan set it they were in a table before a main event, and he fucking flipped the fuck out of him. He goes, "You wrestle like a coward." He goes to him because you never get hurt, you never do anything crazy,
And this
and
is why this happened on Monday when John Cena was sunning Logan Paul for that same bullshit. But here the correlation. Logan Paul and Miz came from the same hometown. They're both from Cleveland. They both pull out that coward bullshit.
who's this?
Logan Paul. Because I
Oh,
watched
Logan
that.
Paul's not a real wrestler, bro. Don't get me still get
I
me
know.
like his brother. He's not a real boxer.
I
Fuck
know.
you for saying that.
I know. But here's the thing. He's not a real wrestler, and I'm glad you mentioned that. But the way John Cena buried his ass on that promo, he said, "You have the nerve to talk about you give your all in the last 20 matches. You've been here 23, and I've been here for 23 freaking years." I was like, "Oh,
I think I can
oh,
remember it was Logan Paul or Fury who said in a private interview, like they think they're going to be able to take over John Cena's place to carry the company. I think it was Fury, to be honest with you.
yeah." But
Fury, you see doing that over time.
here's the thing. John Cena give credit due concerning Logan Paul, but he call out the BS. And everybody know John Cena when he going down that route. You need to learn what John Cena what he is. Everybody say John Cena was the barrier of talent. Am I wrong?
I don't know. I can't answer that question.
No, if you can answer, then we need to get other wrestling here because what John Cena was known for, he buried a lot of talent, and you feel like they're not up to par. No Vince McMahon, he had to call, he had to grab the brass. There's one time they used John Cena to put a check on Roman Reigns and see if he was ready for it. And one of his promo battle with John Cena will bury him
Oh, the
until he
hand. No. Okay, so that part I will give you. I think John Cena was not the only one. Undertaker did it. A lot of they would check you before you go out there. Like, listen, you better get your shit ready, bro, because now you time to take your little boy pants and put a man's pants on, and
and the
get to
thing
work.
is, John Cena, if you think CM Punk is deadly, John Cena is worse. John Cena will make you want to pee or crap on yourself in front of live. And when he did Logan Paul, I watched Logan Paul. I can tell you this guy was feeling broken.
Here's the thing with with John Cena versus these new guys who are wrestling now,
hmm
like Logan Paul, for example. John Cena was in a time still that you had an idea. Let's say whatever it is. Let's make fun of your hair. I'm going to use you for example.
hmm
They will smoke you for that with no
Mhm.
script. Now it's a
Mhm.
script, and you have Vince screaming in somebody's ears, just like, "What the fuck is he doing?" Back then, it wasn't like that. They're slowly, finally getting away from the scripts, going back to the old promos. I'm happy about that.
And the thing is, I'm glad you mentioned that because remember the time when you had CM Punk doing that little show he did with was it ESPN or what other network? They had that show on the side that he wasn't with WWE directly, but he was doing WWE product, and they were doing that thing with from Joe was talking about how you need to go to promo school. You need to be very good on the mic. You need to know how to use the mic properly. That was the issue with Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns had to learn how to use the mic right. But before Roman Reigns can do that, his cousin got it better than him. Remember I did mention it earlier at the beginning of the show.
Mhm.
Also, yo, that
I will give
promo,
him that. It took him a while to get comfortable behind the mic.
bingo, because
There's nothing wrong with that either.
The Uso brother had the best mic game.
From the Usos, yeah.
But I don't think there was anybody who was vicious with the
You know
mic.
who I think was the best mic guy on a mic when he does get the mic?
Who?
You're gonna be surprised at this because he's the only one that made Roman Reigns crack so far.
Who?
Zayn, Sami Zayn.
No,
Nobody
Sami.
hit crack.
No. Sami Zayn had good mic skill. Sami Zayn was considered to be a genius when it comes to doing things that will keep you on your toe. That is correct. But I'm talking about clear cut, good mic
No, I'm not
game.
denying that. I'm saying as a funny guy on the mic can make
Yes,
people crack. Is the only person who made Roman Reigns crack who we know so far is Zayn.
it's Zayn, but
Remember,
he's not as
the Usos-
dangerous as this guy for TNA. What's his name? The director of Authority. What's his name?
Authority.
He had a snake puppet thing. He used to be in WWE.
Oh, that moron! I know what you're talking about.
Yes,
The
everybody
Italian
knows.
wrestler, but he wasn't Spanish. Actually, not Italian. This is the funny
No,
part.
he's not Italian.
No, he's Spanish.
But the thing is, when he played that character, everybody said it. Even Vince McMahon, he is more dangerous than R-Truth. R-Truth is funny, but he was so deadly. Even Undertaker said he had to dodge. He did not want to be around him. He said, "You don't understand. That guy is contagious. He make anybody break." He said he make John Cena break several times on camera. San Martino, thank you.
There you go.
Santino, he is
Bobby, I
beyond.
send the link to your email, by the way.
He is so vicious of a person, being funny that if the Undertaker don't want to be around him, because Undertaker knows he will get him real bad. You see how many times he made John Cena lose character on screen? He got everybody lose character on screen. He's number one. R-Truth is number two. Sami Zayn is number three. Santino, it will tell you you do not want to mess with Santino. Do not. Because what he did on purpose, he was slaughtering people neck, and he did it in a way that if you're not careful, you will lose it. Batista said it. Said, that is one guy you want to stay away from. Undertaker don't want to be around Santino because he knows Santino had that juice on everybody. Vince McMahon knows he don't want to be around Santino because what Santino does, he like the kryptonite. He the walking kryptonite to everybody. And you're not careful, you on screen and you're live, you're not careful, he will make you break. The same way our truth is number two. Our truth got the best theme songs. So iconic theme song. But his character is meant to break people. Sami Zayn is number three. That thing he did with the bloodline, yes, he is funny. But Mike Gang hand down, the Uso had the best Mike Gang. Because what they were doing to the tag team division and how he was doing them dirty and play them for a fool. You cannot say that that revamp of their character day one ish. That thing became so iconic to the point where it went further into the Ultra Penitentiary. And when he was signing every tag team division, thank you, Eric. Ron Killing, aka R Truth, he is he is good.
And they have said it like Vince McMahon kept him on for so long because he made him laugh.
Santino is vicious too. Here's the thing: if you want to do a competition, who is worse between Ron Killing and Santino? Put them both together. I have a feeling Ron Killing will lose character first before Santino.
You know who's very dangerous on the mic more than anybody?
Who?
Who will roast you?
Who?
Paul Heyman.
Paul Heyman is the OG of the OG. Paul Heyman is the brain. At any wrestler that he have worked with, will say, if you want to know how to build your character properly, go to Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman is the OG. Paul Heyman is like the professor of the mic game. So that is no argument. There's no debate. There was the reason why they have Paul Heyman be the mic piece for Brock Lesnar. Let that sink in.
Mhm.
And there's a term called the Paul Heyman guy. Who are the only Paul Heyman guy who did well under him?
CM Punk.
There's CM Punk, there's Brock Lesnar,
There's a bunch of CM Punk, Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns
Uh,
is one,
that's from WWE only. We know.
WWE alone. Now
Oh
you
man,
have
I can literally see Paul right now screaming on the TV right now on
who?
his
Paul?
phone. Yeah, he
Paul?
hates Paul Heyman. He hates Paul Heyman with a passion
Oh, why you hate Paul Heyman?
because of the whole
Oh,
issue.
hold on. Jay Leto is a class on his own. I'm sorry. Eric, Jay Leto cannot be compared, okay? He can wrestle, but his mic game is on a whole different level. Reason why? Ask Ric Flair.
See, oh, sorry. So the reason Paul Heyman hates him, Paul hates Paul. It's kind of funny. Paul hates Paul. You can get it.
That now, that's a merch. That's a merch now. You either have a merch with show Paul picture or in a cartoon look, hate Paul and have Paul Heyman. That's a merch right
I
there.
can't do that because of copyright stuff, and you know that.
I
But
know.
but I can't use the saying at least. But Paul hates Paul because of ECW. The way he did it, he ran ECW to the ground. He's not a fan of it.
I get it. But
And
Eric, I'm glad you mentioned Jay Leto, but here's the problem. Jay Leto is a class of his own. No one can do what Jay Leto did. And the fact that the OG of wrestling, Ric Flair, even said it himself, that y'all have not realized this man have unlimited potential on the mic, bar none. For the stuff he did in TNA, when he was mimicking Ric Flair and the way he did it, it's almost as if Ric Flair said it, he can't take it back. He's like, he owned it.
this is a little surprise here. His top guys are ready. Brock Lesnar,
Yeah.
we know that. CM Punk, we know. Roman
Mhm.
Reigns.
Mhm.
Stone Cold Steve Austin is one of his guys.
Yeah, it is.
I didn't know that. Kurt Angle's another one.
Hmm.
And you just go further down, and some of the other guys that he worked with over the years is obviously RVD. We all knew that.
Yes, I know.
Dudley Boy, I did not know that. The
Mhm.
Danger Allies.
Simple as
That was a WCW group.
Yeah, the reason why Paul Heyman keep coming back to WWE, and the reason why Vince McMahon had to admit Paul Heyman is a wrestling genius when it comes to
Oh,
promotion.
absolutely.
But
He
and
is.
the time he got kicked out first out of WWE, it because due to the clash of idea. Paul Heyman had so much ideas. This guy was helping to create wrestler faster and better than Vince McMahon can even touch him. But the problem with Vince McMahon want to be the one who have all the ideas, but you don't realize Paul Heyman was a genius. And it's right. He was a GM. And
I
another Paul
remember
Heyman, I'm sure
watching.
that another Paul Heyman guy was not on the list. I'm sure because he's not in WWE, because he's the AEW. Is Sean Strickland.
Thank you, Eric. This is the other group he worked with.
Sean Strickland, the Paul Heyman guy, because he went to Paul Heyman, and Paul Heyman was giving some point. Paul Heyman helped so many people.
Don't tell that to
So many.
Paul. Paul is gonna fight you. You might go knuckle to knuckle with him with that one.
No, I understand by ECW. ECW was something that was too extreme, and yet the thing behind ECW hurt a lot of wrestlers afterward because the extreme part of wrestling came from Paul Heyman, aka Philadelphia, but it got swallowed up by WWE, and to the point whereby people that not realize you really shorten a lot of wrestling life when you start incorporate some of the extreme rules and things that it would get. And now let's be real, Monday Night Raw on Netflix, dude. Sometimes you can't get the best 5 out of 5 match or 10 out of 10 match without adding some of these. That tag team match they did, it broke the limit. They were like, yo, I had to give credit to that was a good, well produced match. But the
So
injuries, how would they recover fast from it? And here's another thing. When it comes to physical health and physical fitness, and when it comes to recovery, that is a beyond challenge because you know how much money is being spent to make sure they have the best or the best doctor who can help speed up recovery, and there's certain medicine involved to take because the one in particular, 'cause I tweaked my knee from trying to overdo way too much squat as of lately. So I have a little popping sound, and I had to check that every night. I got to go back and take that medicine. Maybe will help me reduce the pain. When you got injuries, diet, training is critical. Certain food group you're not allowed to take because it can slow down the recovery rate or make it worse.
yeah, so here's the thing with Paul Heyman. I'm gonna agree with a lot of you're saying, and I know Paul is probably like twisting in different ways now. Here's the thing: if you remember Wrestle Talk, he did an
Uh,
interview. Hang on.
I,
He
I'm
go,
listening.
and he was about to go roast Vince. He goes, Vince, you sure you want me? You want to know? Like, no, just draw me money. He goes, you sure? I'm gonna go below the fucking belt. Just draw me money. All right, okay. He used his wife. He used his daughter, his son, his grandkids, his late father. He went beyond, and he said towards the end of that, the reason I did that because I felt I earned the right to do that because I worked for his father, I worked with his wife, and all these guys. I'm the only one in a fucking company that has a right to do that. I went, oh, you got some balls, dude. You look
And
like
and
Mr. Penguin has a lot of balls on him.
and it did make him. It did make a lot of money from Vince. Let's be real. Let's bring it down to the theme song. What would Vince McMahon theme song say? No chance at what?
No chance in hell.
Okay. On that note, how far can Paul Heyman go to the point where it bring a lot more money for the demon himself?
A lot.
Case close. Case close. You can't argue because here's the problem. Because of that, promo games level had increased. Whereby if you don't have a good mic promo, you get crap on for this. And Paul Heyman, like I say, he is the professor when it comes to mic game because let's be real, he has struck a lot of nerves in the past couple of years. Let's be real, the bloodline beef he doing right now, you can't tell me he ain't doing a masterpiece.
Only thing I would say about Paul Heyman, the only time I see him do any physical recently when they put him through a table.
Yeah, but beside that, his mic game doing this bloodline, you don't
He's
think,
on the point.
you
He's
know,
on point. You can't argue that.
okay then. And I'm sure every other wrestler behind the stage in the locker room are taking note. You have to know
Absolutely.
when you got to know when to pull the string to get the reaction. Because when it comes to mic, it's all about reaction. Same thing with theme song. Theme song, it is theme song and mic are in the within the same level. What theme song will make the audience react to the wrestler? This is why when I have these type of I like to paint a picture so people can not understand when I say certain theme song get that certain reaction. It's like the mic game, the promo game have that certain reaction. Now, when you have a theme song that bring no reaction, then that's a let you know you need to change it. Am I wrong, Walter?
No, you're right.
I know you look like we're going away from it, but we weren't going away because are they being variables? You
We
have to
haven't really
know.
left the topic. We're just bringing other pieces into the puzzle to bring it in. Because if you think about it, you come in as a good guy. Your music, you do whatever it is, and then you turn heel. Sometimes the music needs to change with that. Am I making sense, David? It's part of the puzzle. It's like you bring in the playing chess. You bring in the pieces all together. They finally come in to the point you win the title because of the new song and everything. And Roman Reigns even said when he came back, he said in
So,
an interview, he goes like, "I am going to relieve every little piece by piece. I have a new gear set,
so,
new theme song, but I'm going to do it piece by piece by piece."
so,
So Heyman
since,
probably advised him to do that.
so since we're on the Roman Reigns conversation right now, come to think, so I'm glad you bring it up now. When we had the authentic Shield song, right?
Yeah,
When they broke up, who kept the theme song among the three?
Roman.
Bingo. And when they had the Roman song, they did a bunch of tweaking with it, did they not? Until that little break he did, and he came back. They did a switch to it, did they not?
Yeah. Are you talking about when his cancer came back? The break you're talking about?
Yeah, when I break and he came back and he did Braun Strowman and the Fiend Dirty, and they had to get a team that matched that
No,
sort of thing.
he took a okay. So he took two breaks. He took a break during because his cancer came back and he had to go get for treatment.
Hmm.
Then he came back and he wrestled up to COVID came back, but he took a step down because his person like my mother, for example, has cancer or any
I
person
know,
has cancer.
I know,
Your
I
immune
know.
system is already compromised, so he wasn't felt comfortable. And they told him that's fine, go back, go home, and he was ready. He came back, and a lot of times you see him go off, get out of the ring and put a mask on and wrestle with a mask on.
Hmm.
So that was normal for him. But so Roman is a unique character because they try to push him down. People was throw so hard.
And I'm glad you said that. They can't put him down, but who give him the check? Who would check him and make sure that before you get pushed, make sure you prepare for them? Who checked him?
Paul, who?
John Cena. Remember John Cena? John Cena with the measurement tape.
Okay, that's what you're talking about. Okay.
So John Cena knew if you he was letting Roman know if you want to take this seat that you're trying to take, make sure your mic get on lock. Get me doing this bullshit because several times they had John Cena do a mic battle with Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns had to learn from John Cena and get it. The one time he thought he was getting better, John Cena son him on that. Until later on, he said, you know what? He can't be the bad guy. He can't be the good guy. He had to be the guy. He had to be within himself and say, be confident. He had to build that confidence. Then his mic game got better because let's be real.
Mhm.
Everybody know this. Even CM Punk did that parody when that beat between him and John Cena. Then the class they did that match they had in Saudi Arabia, what do you call it? The little mic thing. Then he was trying to be CM Punk trying to be John Cena. He was trying to play John because you know John Cena was the one who was burying the talent. He had that mic game. He had that string pulling. CM Punk had the mic bomb. John Cena did CM Punk mic bomb thing and kind of roasted him for it. CM Punk said, "Oh, since you want to play switch role, I will do the same thing too." But CM Punk knows this. John Cena is that one person. If your mic game is not that damn good, they're gonna use him to do you dirty. So when he did Logan Paul dirty, Logan Paul mic game is whack right now.
You think his mag is now is whack?
You watch the last Monday Night Raw that happened recently. You see that thing he did with John Cena, and John Cena just decimated him.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason why. When people are put to the plate with John Cena, they're testing to see if you can handle the heat. John Cena literally decimated Logan Paul. So the fact that he will send Drew McIntyre
Oh,
to
that's what you're talking about. Okay. I thought you meant Roman Reigns versus Cena. I'm sorry. I apologize.
this is why I'm here to clean a mess. You know,
You've reached your limit on talking. Shut the fuck up.
from blade and middle finger, after he was saying. Don't worry, don't want to make a pop man have me with a real sword look like a middle finger. I was like, there you go, I'll use that from now on. But you gotta understand the fact of it. Until John Cena leave, they gonna start using him for any other part. And I hate to say, he said something that was almost so brutal. He said there was other wrestlers he could have do a match with before his time up. They got me doing a match with you. That was a shade. That was the shade. Because they put you John Cena to see who can pass the torch to, who you think will be the next best person. But the fact that he said you came up and you say you want this and you giving this lackluster Mike promo, that needs to stun you. That's why you go back to theme song. I don't like Logan Paul's theme song. Logan Paul's theme song sucks. It's
I
not
agree
attractive.
100%. You know what's the thing I actually like, and it was actually caught me off guard? The American Nightmare.
The American Nightmare.
I said I like it. I didn't say you need to
No,
like it. I said I like it.
I know you like it, but here's the thing: the American Nightmare from Cody Rhodes.
Mhm.
How you want to put it? It's not as good as American Badass reaction, but the American Nightmare was needed for one specific reason. Cody Rhodes had to make that distinguish. I don't remember the mistake just now, and I caught myself in less than a second. Cody Rhodes was still under his father's shadow.
Not only that.
Stardust didn't do well with him before he left WWE and went to the indie. When he did that tattoo on the neck and everything, and you had that logo, his father was the American dream. So, to stay out of your father's shadow, you have to be the total opposite of your father. You got to be the American Nightmare.
So
So,
let me give you a little history lesson. You know, Cody Rhodes wasn't the first American Nightmare, right?
who was the first American Nightmare?
Goldust. So when he actually took over the American Nightmare, he ended up picking up the phone, calling his brother, yo, dude, you cool if I use American Nightmare? He goes, I don't give a shit. I'm like, if you know, and he goes, I'm glad he did. I understand the respect, but he did 10 times better than I ever did. He even said it.
Yeah,
My thing is Goldust, not the American Nightmare.
no, you're right, and you're right about that. But the fact that he went so far at it making a brand, the American Nightmare had a logo, and that logo was his tattoo on his neck.
Yeah, and his father never had a logo, if you remember.
I know. And the fact that when he came back to WWE, the theme song itself was for his brother before. I remember when before his brother had the face mask and everything, he had that theme song. But he made the theme song better for it made the theme song better for Cody. So you know what? That was a very catchy theme song. But it did well with the entry with the logo first, with the sound effect. I'm like, you know what? This one is good now. But
So
as time progressed, you need to make it a little bit better. You need to do a little tweaking.
So here's the thing with the American with Goldust and Ghost Star, whatever his fucking name was in WWE.
Mm-hmm.
You're right.
I'm good. I'm just trying not to stretch.
It was never his idea. That was a Vince idea
Mm.
to match up the brothers, and it kind of makes sense. He hated the idea from the beginning, and you guys, if they made him similar, like a tough guy, like he is in AEW, he wouldn't mind it as much. But they made him like what's the phone like one young people, David, woohoo, woohoo. So they made him too flirty, to be honest with you, and it didn't work for him. That was not his character, and even his brother sometimes had a hard time doing those weird stuff he did.
Now, look what Wally said, and I'm sure if you agree with that.
And I remember what was stay away from. Yeah, absolutely. I agree 100% with that statement. And it's supposed to be like the rivalry of his own father's thing. Fun fact, you probably know this already. The only reason Vince McMahon put his father in polka dots because he was overweight and he didn't like the idea he's overweight. So that was his way of making fun of his father. And
I caught on a long time ago. I've
yeah,
been
but
caught on a
funny
long time
part,
ago.
Roman, his father, it was one of his best wrestlers back in the day. So it kind of backfired his face. But
Yeah, the thing
back to
is,
the original topic.
I'm not going off the topic. The American Dream knew we were getting mocked. But what Vince didn't know, the American Dream had that skill set of wherever you throw at him, he'll make it gold, which he ended up doing. There's the reason why when before he passed away, the American Dream Dusty Rhodes was a big name in NXT. He won the main reason why Roman Reigns here today.
Yeah,
He
because
gave
he was
he g-
NXT, wasn't he at one point?
he was the not only the coach in NXT,
He was a trainer, I think.
he was not only he was the trainer in NXT, he was the image creator in NXT. He was helping every NXT wrestler trying to find their image that stick well with him. And the best number one student of his class of all time was Roman Reigns, hands down. The 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 Dusty Classic, the fact that that was a theme for you to get a chance to win a tag team championship, that was the reason behind that. To pay homage to what the guy have done. Even Seth freaking Rollins knows it. He said that, yo, you don't understand the well of knowledge that the Dream American Dusty Road had. He is his only rival will be Paul Heyman because Paul Heyman is a wrestling genius. This is why we have an issue. We want to talk about wrestling. Who truly understand the business?
Paul Heyman, absolutely, right now.
Right now, it's Paul Heyman. But before Paul Heyman was American Dream Doctor. Doctor was helping creating wrestlers. While Vince McMahon would like to Vince McMahon shit on a lot of great wrestlers who could have become great for the product. Because Vince McMahon was so outdated and out of touch, you were too blind to see it.
Look at what he did with all the old school wrestlers. He threw them to the side, and when they started bringing him back, people were actually a huge pop.
And that's the reason behind it. Forgive me, I had to do a little strength training because something cannot open it. So, ooh, I'm getting
you're,
caught out right now.
you're getting embarrassed on camera, my man.
I don't care. I had to do because this one, my hand need to be ultra dry. I got rough hand. And then I'm trying, you know what? Let me bring my gloves. I'm sorry.
All right,
Normally,
as you're doing that, let me get our president here. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Were you screaming on the phone when I was talking about you?
yes, he was.
Oh, he's pissed. I can see in his face.
So now you say Paul hate Paul.
I don't understand the reference.
Oh, we were talking about earlier about Paul Heyman, and I know how much you hate Paul Heyman or a passion. But you know your brother over here, I think he's a very good asset to the wrestling world.
Respectfully disagree, but nah. Just if you ever watch any of those ECW documentaries, he's probably one of the biggest scam artists of all time, and I think a lot of those guys from ECW never got fully compensated for everything that they did for him. This guy took advantage of people's credit cards and whatnot, promised repayment on stuff, didn't pay guys back. I mean, again, the promotion was bleeding money, and he's a good salesman, and he sold a lot of guys on a dream of where the company was when it wasn't. And it was fortunate that WWE, WWF at the time bailed him out. And certainly he's been, certainly on, but his mic skills and whatnot. I remember when he was Paulie Dangerously back in the WCW days. So, I've seen him certainly for a while, but nah, I mean the ECW days. I think why he still has a job in the business or whatever is beyond me. But I call it the way I see it. I mean, the guy is is good on the mic, but his handling of ECW and watch any shoot interviews on ECW and Paul Heyman and what he did to people. Not a fan.
All right, let me ask you this question. So the reason we talked about Paul Heyman and some other things is we're putting a puzzle for everybody about the best theme songs. Just give me like a quick rundown to your head. When you hear best theme songs, what comes to your head really fast?
I can't say. I mean, I have my favorites. I go all the way back before they had theme songs, right? So, I mean, certainly in the 70s into the early 80s, that wasn't a thing until Vince started, putting in theme songs for his music. And then you started seeing other promotions like, NWA started doing it. So I go back and forth. But there's a lot of them. I mean, I was a big Hulkamaniac back then. I admit that. And obviously Real American was like the first one that really popped off. Prior to that, he used to come out to Eye of the Tiger from the Rocky III movie.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that was when he first came back to WWF. I don't know if he did it in AWA. I can't say for sure, but when he came in to WWF initially, I say maybe for the first year up through, and when he won the championship afterwards, it was Real American. Now, it was Eye of the Tiger. Now, interesting enough, Real American was supposed to be for Barry Windham and Mike Rotundo. They were like a hot tag team. They were tag team champions at the time. So the song initially was for them, but then they suddenly left and went back, I guess, to NWA, and then Rotundo, I think he went back to Florida, and so they used it with Hogan. And so so that was something that it definitely took off with him. So obviously that's going to be a favorite of mine because of the time and the era and whatnot. Like I said, I was really into Hulk Hogan at the time, and so that was a big one. But so it's definitely on my Mount Rushmore just because of that reason. Regardless of what I feel about Hulk Hogan in later years and whatnot, it's definitely on my Mount Rushmore as a result of that. If I had to put other ones in there that really got me pumped was Ultimate Warrior's theme song when it came out. That big bass day came out. That was a big one. And then honestly, I gotta put John Cena's "You Can't See Me." I mean, that's I mean, say what you want about him. That was a huge one. And then probably you could put like The Rock. If you smell what The Rock's cooking, or Stone Cold's song in there. But one I really liked that maybe gets a little underrated was actually Kofi Kingston, SOS. By Collie Buddz.
That one personally.
Collie Buddz, yeah, that one. That's all. And everything I'm saying now, it's in my playlist. Like I have these songs in my playlist. So again, Kurt Angle's Metal. When he used to come out. Let
me ask you this question, Paul.
Yeah.
And I'll ask you the same thing, David. If you had to pick one song only from the theme song, and you cannot listen to any other song from WWE, that's the only song, which one would it be?
Cena.
David? Seriously? Goldberg for me.
Whoa, hold on. What do you mean, Sid? You forget how I broke it down? The origin
I didn't
of that
forget
song?
how you broke it down, dude. But I thought you picked something a little more older because
Here's the thing.
your
Well,
age.
technically, you can't pick Goldberg's first song. Sorry, you can't pick that.
Why not?
Because that is not a WWE song. Up until a couple of years ago, all WWE themes were by one guy who was with the company forever, and then the last couple of years he was let go. Goldberg came on board in WCW, so that was a WCW theme. which then they use obviously after the merger and everything else that brought that
All
brought
right,
him
you
in.
got me. You got
So
me.
so
You got
so
me.
so technically you can't use Goldberg's if you talk if the theme of tonight's show was WWE, WWF, WWE, that's most of that is the work of one individual who made all those songs. So again, so you can't kind of go if you want to.
So I'm split. I'll explain to you why. Because I'll tell. I'm going to pick one. Don't worry. I'm going to split between the game, but not Metalhead. John Poole's version because John Poole did it originally.
Yeah,
I think that's a better version. Or DX.
Mhm.
If I go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, I'm always going to pick. It's the game by John Poole.
Yeah.
I think they did it better than Metalhead. 100%. Hey, what's going on, my man? How are you tonight?
But here's my thing. When I pick the Uso theme song, Jay Uso theme song, you need to understand something about me. Remember I talk about music, right? I grew up heavy in hip hop. And of all the theme songs, I could have said John Cena, but John Cena was more original. Yeah, but it fit to his character. But the Uso Penitentiary, the Uso theme song, or to Jay Uso theme song. Now, if there would have been a music video, how many rappers would have jumped on it and made it even better? Too many. That is factual.
Mhm.
Because remember what I said earlier, beside Jay Uso, there's a non-WWE Swerve Strickland theme song is beyond catchy and it's original. But what I'm saying when it comes to the Uso theme song, that's the only song that not only was so catchy, it's being forced to be played over and over and over when he comes out. Because the audience cannot let go of that theme song. Even Roman Reigns was saying behind the scene that the guy is over now, so why not push him?
Good point.
His merch is outselling other people's merch. You want to talk about theme song and being catchy? What will be with next theme song? 4 letter, one word, yeet. Like, come on.
But don't forget, they didn't own the rights to Yeet for a while,
I
and they
know,
had to pull off the air first.
I
Then
know,
once they bought it from another company or some shit like that. That's
I
when it
know.
came back.
But
They almost didn't have it.
let me tell you how dangerous that song is. Play that in the NFL game. Play that in the basketball game. See what the audience is going to do.
Yeet.
This is what I'm saying. The more catchiest theme song had a reaction to the audience. So I tell you, when you look at mic drop, mic game, and thing, it had to pull the string. The Uso theme song is so catchy, so vicious.
New subscriber.
Anywhere you go and play that song in any sporting event, or let him say he's there for a guest appearance, the whole thing will blow off the roof.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I'll give you that.
So you can't say, and as somebody who's dumb cannot say that's not one of the best songs of all time, then you understand audience impact. The way I say, the only one
I
that gets
think
close
it's
to
the best song of this generation of wrestlers.
now I tell you modern generation because besides his
I'm
song,
not arguing with you. I'm agreeing with you for once.
Randy Orton theme song is that dangerous too because he said himself it's hard for him when he on a European tour and when he comes out and they say his song. The European audience is greater than American audience because they don't hold back their passion. And every time I watch and listen, my arms go into goosebumps. I'm like,
As much as we want to take credit of pro wrestling is an American sport, if you want to
mhm,
call it sport, it's not.
mhm.
It's a European sport. Let's be honest here.
I get it. I know you're going you're in technical right now. I get it. I'm not arguing, but I'm saying when it comes to the theme of the show today, theme song. If I were a promoter, if I'm running a business, and I put a particular theme song, it bring me far more money and more audience reaction. I'm not gonna sleep on that. When he Orton's song, it's ridiculous, no matter where he go. And the fact that the European audience See, which song did I pick? I picked the Uso. Main event Uso. The Uso penetration. That song had evolved.
Hmm. I gotta admit, David, I am a bit of a old head. So their first one, so close now, especially when they used to come out, but the two of them used to come out and do the haka dance
I
before
know.
the thing.
That was
That
good.
that was so close. That was, and that rapper, he was actually a Polynesian rapper, the guy who did that song also. That was pretty dope. That's in my list also. That's in my playlist. So
And
close
this
now.
and then what I'm trying to point out, because when they started out day one is the new version of themselves, that thing had a steady rise. It never stopped. And it got better and better and better over time. It got to a point where they did that promo what I said with a Judgment Day. They blatantly disrespect the whole entire tag team division. Talk about every one of you lot. They why I said then they bring that one back because now you have their real rivalry in the business, and they should do that. See who is the better tag team between the Uso and the JOD. That's the Tonga brothers. They had a known rivalry on social media that's going on for a good well a couple of years. But theme song wise, Jay Uso main event theme song is ridiculous, and that is the upgraded version of the Uso theme song.
Okay, so answer this question from Wally first. Are you talking about Jay Oso or Jay Uso
I'm,
brothers song?
I'm saying both because they're both connected because the Uso theme song ended up going to Jay Uso. They gave it to him and they upgraded it. And Mr. Bennett said that song was catchy.
So
They had
here's the thing:
okay.
single, just a single competitor, I will pick DX, like I said. But as a tag team competitor, I will say the Hardy Brothers had the best one.
I'm trying to remember theirs.
That's debatable. That's debatable.
That
But I will,
yes, it is very debatable. That is what I like the most as a
I,
tag
know-
team.
I know you're being biased. That's your I see Wally say, huh?
Absolutely, I'm biased on that.
See
Because I
Wally?
like how
What?
they're going do 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 do. They're coming out and they're shaking their hands in the air. Yeah,
Okay.
and they
All
had
right.
the graphics in the background. I like that. That was the thing for a lot of wrestlers at the time. Hogan used to come out when he came back to WWE. He had the smoke with his, so that was a very cool effect. I think, and I think I actually missed that in a way.
I know that's nostalgia. I get it, nostalgia. But once again, I'm gonna win this debate. The Uso song is one of those type of song that people sleep on as they grow. Then when they get to Jay Uso,
I'm gonna push back
it,
a little bit of that. I
even
think
even 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 in
sure,
the Jay Uso version of that song, you have haterade coming from the commentary. They don't want to admit it that that song is beyond catchy. But you gotta stop the audience who requested for. Hold up. When you ever see a theme song turn into a DJ song, like you're in a club, they treat his entry like you're in a club already. When have you
the
seen that?
one song also I think it will be is very popular
Hmm.
and it can go head to head with that is Joe Hendrix song. You can't argue that, bro.
No, let me tell you what I can. Do you know how I can argue with that? Let me tell you why. When Jay Uso came to NXT, they did a remake with his song and Trick Williams' song, and that thing connected. And everybody was like, that might be a new mix." But when Trick Williams trying to be what I don't like about Trick Williams' character, he trying to be on a same level with Jay Uso, but you're not on that level yet. And you trying to be a battle rapper or some kind of thing, and you're battling against Joe Hendricks. Like, come on. Wally's pissed.
That shit really getting old.
Wally, what's going on, man?
Uh huh. Well, okay, so I'm gonna need to hear this one more time. And one, the hunt wasn't for Peter, so the hunt was for you, because I don't know touch this so much. You said okay, because again, I need to go back and hear what you just said, because I'm over here
I
like,
saying I'll correct my statement. The Uso theme song, the second version when they got to revamp their image, to me is iconic. to the point they gave it to Jay Uso and upgraded and made it even better than it was before.
So pause. You saying the Uso penitentiary? So when Jay and Jimmy, when they did the Uso Penitentiary, their tag team song
Hmm.
became a single song for Jay Uso alone.
Afterward, they upgraded. The day one is strong.
So wait a minute. How's that? Huh? Wait a minute. Huh?
You're saying how now? You gonna say how right now? Really? You want to go there?
Yeah. I'm really gonna go there.
You really want to go there?
I
So
am.
when they
I'm
had that
really
day,
going there.
when they had that day one ish
Uh huh.
theme song for themselves as a tag team,
Day one.
you want to say what? You want to say what didn't catch you at all?
No. Again, that's not what I'm arguing here. What I'm hearing from you is, again, when you said the particular song, okay, I'm asking you. Okay, the question on
And
the table was,
I
which
say,
theme song was the one you're talking about? So I'm asking you, were you
okay,
talking about singularly Jay Uso? Because I'm pretty sure when Sparta asked this question, it was about one wrestler, not a tag team, supposedly.
okay.
So
If
that's
that's the case, it's Jay Uso song, yes. But I also
so again.
mentioned Jay Uso song with the upgrade of their tag team song, without trying to show originality where it originally came from.
So I'm just okay. So let me make sure. So we're talking about day one ish, or we talk which song exactly we talking about here?
Once again, musically speaking, the day one this theme song that was created for the Uso tag team, one of the more catchiest song of its modern time, to the point whereby when they did that division team, both brothers, they gave that theme song to Jay Uso and they upgraded it to the point whereby not only it became catchy, it became a moneymaker that tied to the merch sale. You get it now?
I didn't need the example. I just need the exact song. The
And I
exact song.
think,
That's all I need.
Wally, why you gotta be so hard?
See, this is the problem with certain people. You said
Oh,
this is the
certain
thing right
people,
here.
and you
See,
had one of
you're
them
talking
too.
about someone that wants to be very thorough, but yet when I'm looking for an exact answer, you can't even be that thorough.
And I'm being
Exact song.
thorough,
I just need an
and I'm
exact
being
song.
thorough, and I'm being thorough, and I mentioned J1 theme song.
Okay, so day
And
one. That's the theme song you're talking about. Day one.
the J Uso theme song right now is my choice. And I say and giving respect to the originality of that song, which is a continuation of it. I'm just connecting the dots. So I am being thorough and I'm being technical and along the dots. How far women to
No, I
go?
just need to know. I just need to know one because again, I need to go back and re-listen because I'm pretty sure Uso Penitentiary and then Day One Ish is not the same song. And if it is, then that is just sad. If it's the same song, because I don't know how to.
They want equal considered the ultra penetrating theme song.
Okay, so there is no Day One Ish. It's just main event ish. Wait, hold on. Let me see. Hey, look, I'm the one looking on. I'm the one searching it. I don't see no. I didn't see the Day One Ish. The first thing that popped up was Jay Uso main event ish. Okay, there's a Day One remix. Okay. All right, look, I'm gonna just have to look for it. I'll be right back after I'm listening to this.
This is why me and Wally like to bump head unnecessary and necessary at the same time.
I mean,
Hey, let me
choice is your
while he's
choice.
doing that, let me ask you guys a question while you're
Go
looking it
ahead.
up. As far as underrated
Oh,
theme songs. Now again, this was a guy was a flash in the pan. He never made it past mid card, but he created a phenomena at the time that I hadn't seen in WWE up until that time. But that was Fandango.
yeah.
The
I'm
fandangoing.
sorry.
I mean, nobody.
Oh,
I never saw the audience pop.
I'm
They did
sorry.
that fandango dance or
You're
whatnot.
not lying.
Look, it was a flash in the pan, but it was hot. I didn't understand it myself. I mean, the song itself is, again, that's in my playlist, and I never understood. Yeah, it's catchy, it's nice and everything, but I never saw an audience reaction to a theme song
You're not. I'm not gonna
like the
argue with you.
fandango, and I never heard when they started fandangoing. So I gotta give that song some credit. because you could do that if all you want, Peter. But again, name me another song with an audience pop
So
like that, and
you
you
can't
can't.
argue with that. I'm sorry, that is so underrated. That song was worse than the Macy's and the Old Navy theme song they play when you go to their store. That song was so catchy, so viral,
The
so
fandangoing was catchier than the wrestler,
yes.
right? Because again, he was a mid card. I mean, I thought the gimmick was a bit silly. He wasn't that talented in the ring. He got a big push in that, I don't know if it was SummerSlam or WrestleMania when he beat Jericho. I think in his main match or whatever. But he never made it up, big time like that. But nevertheless, like I said, he's probably the only wrestler that I know of where his theme song was more popular
Yes.
than the wrestler himself.
And that is scary. And you went,
And guy couldn't dance. He couldn't even his tango dancing was not. I know I heard him in an interview and he talked about he took all these lessons and stuff or whatever, but even his dancing wasn't that great either.
what
But
the annoying about that
nevertheless,
song,
the fans liked
the
him,
annoying
I
about
guess.
that
So
song,
they made it
the annoying about
relevant.
that song, it went no matter where he go to either to NXT, Monday Night Raw, or SmackDown. For some apparent reason, the audience will not let go when they hear it. Everybody singing, asking the music to stop, and you can see the commentator looking at like, what the hell is this? That Fantago. I'm sorry, you're right. That's the most underrated song.
Fandango.
It was annoying. It was catchy. It was like a virus. It was like a.
But you got to
It was
admit,
like a.
like I said, I was like, I could not believe what the
It was like a
audience was doing,
disease,
but they
and it caught on.
ate it
It
up.
caught
They
on.
ate it up.
They didn't eat it up. They swallowed it, digested it within their bloodstream, and even the commentator had to turn their neck and look at them like, "Y'all serious? Y'all love this song?" If I was in the audience, I would have looked at everybody like, "Nah, stop. I'm being pranked here. Like, y'all love this theme song? It was that catchy. They worse than Joe Hendrix theme song. Let's be real. If you want to compete of the most catchiest, weirdest song ever, Fandango's song outpaced Joe Hendrix theme song.
Mhm.
No argument.
Yeah, I mean, Eric is obviously not a fan. I'm not saying you have to be one. I just know that again, name another theme song that got kind of reaction out of an audience. I don't think you can ever.
Eric.
If he came back today, like in a Legend something or
Oh god.
whatever, he's doing the
Oh
same thing.
god.
It's almost like in the other one, it's almost like again Kurt Angle's
Oh,
Metal, right?
Kodak is another one.
When they kept saying "you suck," I mean they added that. That's another one where the crowd changed the song, but it became a thing. It became but again, Fandango's. Now again, Angle was out before he was, but I don't know when they added the "you
No,
suck" to it.
they say the time that when one time they were trying to make him turn from here to babyface. I know babyface suggested to the YouTube, but they did it enough before he actually tried it. It became a part of it. Then you suck. He took that thing to what was it?
But the thing is, they used it. They used it regardless if he was a heel or a babyface at some
And there's
point
no
in
way you can give
time.
it up.
It was a constant thing. It didn't matter what he was. That was just a part of something. He ate it up.
You know, one that one that was underrated that didn't have a long run in WWE was Adam Rose. His,
Yeah, same. Yeah,
Oh, another one.
yeah.
and that was the one everybody was dancing into it. Like they had mascots, and he jumped back and they catched them. I'm like, all right, I can get behind this. This is kind of fun.
I questioned that song. I was like, who brought up this idea? And why the audience so eating it up like Captain Gantney? Like, it's not a word that the Fandangos were. The Fandangos was. I thought everybody got mental illness. To be honest with you, they were loving that song.
Yeah. You can't.
When you got a hit, you got a hit. How many regular songs have a hit and we don't know about it? Think about it.
Oh god. Oh god. I hate it. It got worse in the NXT side of the Monday Night Raw or Smack because NXT they were
It was Axl Rose, not
he,
Amber
he,
Rose. Did you say Amber Rose? I don't know. You mean X or
The thing is, they dragged out so much in the NXT side. They didn't want to stop singing. Da, 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 da. And even the audience, I'm looking at the audience like, dude, what are you drinking? What make you drag the song even further? Like, gosh.
How much shit we want to give Adam Rose, but he has a huge following in the indie scenes. And if
He
you
did.
see him now, he's humongous, bro.
He's not
is he?
he's
Good
not
for him.
Adam Rhodes, he's Adam Bush.
Like, I'm gonna say my screen really fast to show
Because
you how
you
he
can't
looks
call him
now.
Adam Rhodes no more because Adam Rhodes was a
This
slim,
is him
skinny dude.
now.
Oh
Yeah,
I would say
gosh.
Adam Bush. He went from
this
Adam
was him
Rose.
before.
He went from Adam
Yes.
Rose to Bush. He's bigger.
Wow.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
He's on the sauce.
But,
He
but
got
here's
on
the
the
joke
sauce.
about Adam Rose. All the people that play along his prop, who part of the prop team, had a better career than him, which is sadly.
You know who helped him get that big, right?
Nah.
I spit in who does one cool in the face. What's his name?
Kalito Cole.
Yeah. That's because you see Alec Cool or whatever his name is, he came back recently and he's jacked to also.
Oh, Kalito Cole?
Yeah.
I know he got jacked.
And he helped Adam. They're really good friends from from my understanding. I might be wrong on that.
No, the wrestling circle are tight. It's tight. We gotta really promote you in. It's not a joke at all because when you come to wrestlers, they understand the policy what come they work with, but they behind closed doors support one another, but know where they go to. Becky, not Becky Lynch. What's her name again? Part of the Four Horsewomen. Not Matilda Monade, but yeah,
Bailey.
Bailey. She knows she cannot show her faith on another promoter, but she made sure to go there and support her sister in crime, Matilda Monade, behind the scene, the match or whatever, because she knows that's what they do. And then the other ones do the same exact thing. Other ones do it's like you have to in this bit in that wrestling business, you have to support one another regardless of it because you wish y'all all can wrestle in the same promotion, but these promotions have their unique policy that can be conflicted. That is why I'm thinking when will Buddy Murphy come back to WWE? He's on the injury list. I get it. We ain't gonna bring him back. Since his wife is Rhea Ripley is doing great. That's the question. Keith Lee, another wrestler like that, who I think maybe if he lose more weight and got in better shape, he would have done better in WWE. But he's a great, unique wrestler at the big side, but he had a health issue. But when you talk about another theme song, Unlimited, was a WWE theme song, I believe, to the NXT side. That was another catchy song.
Ripley's song has come a long way. Her character completely.
Who?
When she first Ripley.
Rhea Ripley, yeah, it changed a lot. This more recent song, I hate to say this, I don't like it. It's catchy, but a lot of young girls are just drive. They drive. My daughter like her theme song, and she going crazy. I'm like, ew. Her theme song is beyond catchy, and she becoming a female role model big time. Storm, she need a change to that theme song. Nothing wrong with that theme song, but she do better. Bianca have a much better theme song than her. That thing is real catchy, and it go well with her character. But sooner than later, she might have to turn heel and have to have a little change to that song.
Mhm.
Um,
So finish your thoughts
sure.
because I want to start getting our final thoughts in. I want to make it a
I
quick
know,
announcement.
I'm
before we do
trying
that.
to see what other female wrestler who theme song need to get some work on because there's only very few female theme song that do well.
What do you think about Bailey's song?
Bailey,
I think that needs definitely an update.
no, need a new music director too to get the real thing that will fit her because She had made a lot of changes to her theme song, but it's not it don't have the in there. Um, I can talk about Stephanie Vaquer, but Stephanie Vaquer, I gotta get used to that song because from where she came from, New Japan Pro Wrestling and everything, and she's like, let me think about her. So I gotta say, yeah, that's for now. Um, I'm trying to think of all the juggernaut wrestlers who have very huge impact right now among the females.
That's hard because it's very hard because a lot of them are hot and cold, hot and cold. It's very few that you can sit there like, oh my god, their everyday shows, they keep going, and they go say, yes, they're good, but
And this why we had
unfortunately,
that conversation about your mic game and everything. If it's
yeah,
not
it's
pulling
not even my thing.
strings,
It's the way H is running the men's division very very well, but he's
mhm,
having a hard time with the women's division still.
and that's why you need some woman mindset whereby it comes to theme song because this what we talk about. The theme song had to be
What?
pulling. You gotta have that pull with the audience. Bianca Belair's theme song has that pull with the audience.
Yeah.
Undeniable.
All right,
Speaking.
Wally, go ahead
Yo,
really fast,
go
and
ahead.
we can start our final thoughts in a minute.
No, I was wondering what you said because I was sort of thrown off a little bit.
You're referring to a female theme song. Like only very few actually have better theme song. Bianca Belair has one. Will Ripley has one. Um,
Okay, so you said earlier that male has more better
No.
theme
I
songs
was
than
saying
females.
he has a better way to do better storylines for the man division versus the women's division. He's still struggling with that.
uh, even that
Okay.
the theme song wise, there's not too many great female theme. AJ Lee theme song. No, what it did had a catch at that time when she was here. Yes, I'll give it that one. But
Mhm.
this what I'm talking about. There's not too many great female theme songs that will catch it on a very select few.
So really fast before we hit our final thoughts, let me get my right button here. So it came to my attention. Everybody know who Trish Stratus is, obviously. She, obviously, I mentioned this show before. She's also Greek, like I am, and her mother was battling cancer for a while.
I heard,
Unfortunately, I found out the other day her mother passed from cancer.
yeah.
So if she comes across this, I doubt it, but if she comes across, I just want to send my prayers and thoughts to her family. Tiria, Zoe Sisas, because it hit me home because my mom is fighting cancer. I'm not sure what type of cancer her mom had, but I do know she stepped away from wrestling to take care of her mom. And similar, I didn't step away from my job. Similar thing I'm doing, trying to take care of my mom. So I felt it was appropriate to at least send our condolences out as a group, as a channel, and as fans.
Mhm.
So
For real.
let's get into our. Do you guys want to say anything about that before we move on?
No, I feel the same way you are on that note because I heard the noise and I was like, wow, that might be heavy.
It hit me hard because I met her personally, and
And you
yeah,
did talk about having an interview with her, one-on-one interview. We have not
I
see
like to
whether it
get her
happened.
on here, but I'm working on that. But
Okay.
before we get into, I don't want to get into deep in that. That's a whole different conversation. Let's start our final thoughts. Let's get David go first, Paul, then Wally.
Final thought will come to theme song, WWE theme song. I'm telling you, this is will have to be a case study or academic course in college because when creating a theme song with a particular wrestler, it had to match their persona and it had to match their character. And it got to be able to pull the string of the audience. You see how we talk about today's show. We mentioned a few theme songs that you cannot let go. Roman Reigns theme song, the most few recent adaptation, it had a pull. Jay Uso, which was the upgrade version of the Uso Day One List theme song, it had a pull. Bobby Roode, Glorious had a pull. Randy Orton, Legend Legend Killer, that theme song, Voice It in the Head, that had a pull. Um, yeah, Sami Zayn song is catchy, but not much pullage as it is. And then the very select few, when you look on the female side, Bianca Belair, hand down, undeniably has a pull. Where Ripley theme song has a pull. Um, and this is what I'm trying to point out. When creating a theme song, a part of it with the character who is portraying that particular persona in WWE. Braun Breaker NXT theme song to me is better than Braun Breaker Monday Night Raw theme song, hands down, in my objective opinion. Because it personifies his character, what he is, it put that fear factor. And when we dealing with theme song, I'm thinking we need to start looking at theme song for a lot of these records in present time, if we're doing it wrestler justice or based on the stock or if bringing it down. That's something you have to look at. When you mention the Fandango theme song, oh gosh. I'm not trying to play that song in my head because that's what annoying. It's worth there, Macy and all every theme song. It will stay with you and haunt you. And somehow the audience love it. But you get the picture. It's all about creating something that get a audience reaction, either be negative or positive, but it had to do something that build that character stock up. That is my final thought.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, theme songs have, certainly aligned with the characters, or certainly with the wrestlers is a major part of their brand, a major part of their marketing, and I think certainly give kudos to WWE, WWF on, making that popular. And like I said, that started happening with other promotions as well. I remember specifically with the NWA, they started using theme songs of like popular music. Like I know the Midnight Express, for example, they use actually the theme song from Midnight Express. But then the musicians started to get word of it, and then they started wanting copyrights or whatnot. So again, even those promotions had to change because they didn't want to pay royalties to these artists for using their songs. And so I think McMahon, I got to give him credit, he got ahead of the curve and he got his guy. And again, the fact that that went on for so many years, with that he made so much music, I think that guy certainly deserves a lot of credit. I don't know if he's working with any other promotions right now, or is he done, or what have you. And I'm not familiar with other promotions, music like AEW or what have you, but I definitely think that guy's certainly done a lot to establish WWF, WWE music catalog, brought that aspect to the business, which I don't think anybody was really thinking about before. Last thing I'll say is in terms of like, regardless of promotion. So I talked about the quote unquote WWE, WWF themes. But if I was going to go with my Mount Rushmore, I think regardless of theme, I got to put again. I think John Cena's is right up there. I got to put Real American just because I'm, just because I'm. That's the era that I came up in. But I got to put two more in, and I have to. This is non. No, these songs were not original by any means, but I think they're the most iconic, and that's got to be, you got to say Ric Flair's 2001, even though it came from the movie. The Spake Zarathustra, I think is the official name of the song. I think it's by um I forget the artist, Strauss. Again, not a wrestling theme per se, but again, I think that song got a lot of notoriety because of Ric Flair and what he brought to it. That song made it very popular in the popular culture because of that. And then the other one I got to give credit to is Randy Macho Man Savage, "Pomp and Circumstance." Again, it's played at every graduation, but there's something about when Randy Savage came out to "Pomp and Circumstance," Miss Elizabeth walking him down the aisle. It was a, certainly he I think he did something to that song also. So I mean, I gotta give those guys credit for taking two very known songs, but certainly establishing them, and the fact that guys were willing to pay royalties for those. Again, so I talked about the royalty thing earlier, but again, I don't know how it works for these classical music. I don't know how that works, because obviously the artists who came out with that, they're no longer with us. So I don't know how that works or who owns those things. But nevertheless, though, the fact that those things were incorporated into the wrestling promotion shows how big those guys are, and certainly the wrestlers themselves lived up to that those songs and made them bigger and grander than what they were known for. So shout out to those guys.
Wally.
Sorry about that. I was actually late. I'm coming. Calm down. This is not a ceremony. I haven't died yet. Yeah. So look, honestly, I wasn't really supposed to come up. I just had to get that clarification. I literally had to get that clarification. And first and foremost, literally, yeah. Look, for your song to be a mix, an extended version mix of the original mix. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. It can't be iconic. I'm just calling that out right now. No. Especially when it's supposed to be just a song by itself. They didn't, as much as popular they made you. You trying to tell me they couldn't get you your own a fresh song? God damn, boy, you just had to milk off old flavor.
Willie,
God
Willie
damn,
Wally,
ain't that
go there
something?
now.
Sir, I gave you a chance to talk. This is my time. Okay, this is my time. Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. With that said, if I had to answer these questions of my favorites, if I had to sit here and listen to it for the rest of my life, easy. Eddie Guerrero. I lie. I cheat. I steal. I'm not, forever. Goated in my life. Goated. I will forever hit that theme song for the rest of my life. Goated. Tag teams. I ain't gonna lie. I would agree. They're just a vibe with hearing the Hardy song music. I ain't gonna lie. Hearing the Hardy Boy music, it is a lot. Like there just is a vibe to listen to that sometimes. And honestly, I couldn't not fathom not listen to that again. So yeah. But then again, like I said, there's a lot of tag team songs out there that are just like top tier picks. So it all depends on what you want. But yeah, I'll leave it there.
I think this is one of the arguments where nobody's going to be on the same page on this one. So, a question to you, Paul: with classical music, some studios still owns the rights to it. Like, say, for example, Bennett Studios got sold to Black David Studios. They will own the rights to it some way. And like, there's some royalty rights going on into it anyway. But let's do a quick schedule update really fast. I gotta find my stuff here. So tomorrow we're talking about divorce. We do me a favor. Can you reach out to BMU and push up the show for 1 hour earlier because tomorrow the new schedule starts.
What's the title of tomorrow's show?
Divorce.
Okay, I'm not showing up.
Yeah. So starting tomorrow, guys, we are moving Saturday. It's Sunday, Tuesdays, and Saturday to 8:30. Do my schedule. It'll be temporarily. I should be switching back to my normal hours soon. Hopefully, because I'm not like in 5:30 a.m. shift. But so except that on where are we? On Tuesday we will be talking about sisterhood or sibling. Why a woman protects a woman. Oh boy, I didn't think about it. I skipped down when I did it. And on 27th, Showing Kings. The guys we'll be talking about, and Paul and Coach will be talking about finance stress. So tune in for that. And next week, before I forget on that, we will be talking about and Friday will be a special episode of King and Me going over physical abuse on a man. This is a special edition show. Just came up at the last minute. That's why. And next week we will be talking about on here Wolverine versus the Punisher. Oh, that's gonna be an argument and a half. I already see that. Dude, last words. You don't think so?
It really ain't.
You don't think so?
By what degree?
Versus the Punisher.
Oh yeah, bullets is gonna hurt this man.
Oh, I thought everybody's gonna be going to saying
this is a lopsided fight. Unless you're talking about Wolverine without adamantium. This is
I'm again.
And even without adamantium, it's still a lopsided fight.
Wow. All right, hold the heat for next week. Yeah. All right. Except that, David. Last words.
Last word. Punisher, I feel sorry for you. That's what I gotta say.
Paul.
Good here.
Wally.
I only got one thing to say. You know, for a channel that supports, you know what, y'all really throwing Punisher under the bus.
I am a Marvel fan. What can I say? That's all I'm gonna say. All right, guys. Except that this was the Spartan HQ Network. I am the Spartan. He's Black David, Mr. President, Little Wally. As always, stay fresh, stay safe, and I'll see you guys. Stay
There ain't no little over here, sir. Thank you very
see
much.
you guys in the next one.
No,
I'm taller than you.